Hello, lovely people. Hey. Hello. Welcome back to Thoughts and Convergations. I'm your host. Me. 'Cause who else would it be? Yeah. I'm Lou. I go by they, them pronouns. And we're here to have a good time. Actually, this podcast is not going to be very silly. We've had some crazy things happen. Yeah. Also, here's another angle from my apartment. Yeah. This is basically just going to be a story time. Not really. Just me talking about how we need to be better with the earth, because oh my god. Basically, we suck. Humans are horrible, and I hate humans with a passion. So I was actually going to record a podcast yesterday. It's Tuesday right now, which is normally the day that I would like to upload. But I was not able to. Because we had flooding. So basically, okay. I live in Vermont, and if you didn't know, over the summer in Vermont, we had some pretty major flooding. And there's this thing, that people say that, every 100-year floods happens in Vermont. Every 100 years. So the flood that we had in the summertime was only 10 years after we had Hurricane Irene come through here, which, if you didn't know, that floods. That was a really big flood. So yeah, 10 years. That doesn't sound like 100 years to me. And this flooding, I don't even know when the last flooding happened. It was like July, right? It was July or August. I think it was July. So it's only been a few months. It's currently December. It's only been a few months. So what? That makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense. So yeah, yesterday, here's a little story time. Yesterday I woke up, and I work as a custodian at a school, and I woke up with quite a few text messages from different people, and one of them was from my boss, talking about how there was no school. School was closed early. It was still in the process of closing when I saw the messages, because of flooding, and talking about how I would get a paid day off, and how don't come in, blah blah blah. And I was like, I literally had just woken up, and I was reading these messages. I was very disoriented, and I was like, ugh, what's happening? And so I had also seen that a school had already closed because of flooding. The school was already flooded. And I was like, oh my god, like, why is there flooding right now? And so I looked, and one, it was because, we've had a bit of snow, quite a bit of snow, come down the last few weeks. And all of the day before, like that night especially, was raining. And then yesterday, when all this was happening, it was over 50 degrees outside in December in Vermont, when normally at around this time it's close to in the single digits for temperature. Yeah, so that was really great. And it had also been raining. It rained all day yesterday. So I woke up at around like 10 o'clock and I saw these messages and I was like, oh my god, like I didn't even know that like this was going to happen, you know, because like, I mean, over the summer it was raining every day in Vermont, like constantly raining. So like we all knew that at some point it was going to flood, and it did. But this was very unexpected, at least for me. I did not expect it to flood. So it was very weird being like, oh my god, we have to go through this all again. Because like, literally, it's been months. Like, there are some places that are just barely opening up because they were flooded and they had to fix everything. And it took months. Like, literally, places were just opened. And now those places are closed again because of the flooding. But yeah, so that happened. And yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. But yeah, so I got out of bed, I was doing my normal thing, and I was like, this is just so weird. Like it didn't feel like the flooding was happening, you know? And I currently live in an area that like gets hit pretty hard. So I was also like, I knew that when I moved here that I was moving into an area that was bound to get hit with flooding at some point. But it's not normal for Vermont to flood this often. Like I said, saying every 100 years. And then we were like, oh, every 10 years, I guess. No, every few months. It's crazy. So, yeah, I stayed in my apartment. I was kind of just, you know, waiting it out. I didn't have anywhere to go anyway. And so it was around, when was it? It was around 2:30 that I was like, you know, putting laundry away or whatever. And I have a video of it. I was taking a video of a record that I was playing. And literally right as I started recording the video, it just started downpouring. And I knew that it was gonna start raining at some point because, you know, it had gone away for a little bit, but then I saw it just got so dark outside, and I was like, this is not gonna be good. This is not gonna be good. And so I have a video of it just starting to downpour, and I was like, oh my god, why? So then I was starting to get a little nervous. I was like, okay, this is not gonna end well. And so I just kept looking outside, you know, watching it, and I was looking at my parking lot, and there used to be like, you know, snow in like this grassy area on the side of the parking lot, and it was all water. And because it was raining so much too, that started getting higher, and I was like, oh my god, like, what's happening? And so I was like, you know, no, I need to distract myself. I'll just talk about it. So then I was like setting up my podcast right here, actually. And I was about to start it, Thank you so much. I was about to start it when my sister, who works down the road from where I live, she called me and she was like, hey, just letting you know that, like, the road, like, your street is starting to look a little watery. If you were to move your car, now is the time. Like, you know? So I was like, oh my god. Okay. So then I went to go move my car, and I was trying to find a place to move it because I was trying to figure out how to get on this hill to park my car, and I was like, I don't know how. I almost went the wrong way on a one-way street. I was like, ugh. And so I was driving around and I was like, you know, these streets don't even look like flooded at all. Like, what is this? So then I started driving around and I was like, oh, being dumb. I was like, why don't we just go on an adventure? Drive around, see if anything is even happening. You know, maybe she was just being dramatic. And so I drive around and I go around a roundabout and I go down what I think is Main Street, don't know, and it's all water, like very deep water in the road, and I hit all my brakes in the middle of the road, and I was like, oh my god, I can't drive through this. So then I had to turn around and try to find my way back to my apartment because I couldn't remember where I was going because I have no sense of direction. But yeah, so I was like, I found my way back to my apartment and I was driving up to where that hill is so that I could park it, and my parents called me and they were like, you know, we really think it would be a good idea for you to, you know, go to our house and stay there because we just don't know what it's going to look like. And I was telling them, like, the roads, like some of the roads that I was trying to go on, like they were blocked with water, so I don't know how I'm gonna get through here. And so I was just like, oh my god. So then, you know, I was thinking, okay, well, I'm gonna park my car. We had made this plan that I was gonna park my car on the hill, take my valuables out, and then my dad was going to come pick me up because he has a higher elevated car, because I have a sedan. A sedan is not going to work. So I was like, you know, getting my stuff all in a bag, and then right as I was about to leave my car, they called me again and they were like, hey, you can drive. There's this road that you can take. It's not bad, but leave sooner rather than later. Go to your apartment, get whatever you need for the next day. And yeah, and I was like, okay. So then I like packed up all my CDs and everything, and I was like, I didn't need to pack up all my CDs in my car. So yeah, I went back to my apartment. I was looking at the lake that is still in my driveway. And I went to grab some stuff. I forgot so many things. I literally grabbed just like a pair of work clothes and like toothbrush, deodorant, and my retainer, and that is it. I didn't even end up wearing my retainer that night because I forgot, because I was so stressed. I didn't bring a jacket with me because I was like, it's warm outside, it'll be fine tomorrow. It was like 30 degrees outside today, so that was also a great thing. It flooded and then froze, so, and it's supposed to get warmer as the week goes on, so and let me just tell you, this happened literally to the day a week before Christmas, the flooding. In some areas it was as bad as the flooding that happened a few months ago, which was bad. It was really bad flooding, a ton of damage. So it's like, why? A week before Christmas. Like, it's just so crazy. But yeah, so I ended up going to their house, and yeah, I could barely sleep because I was like stressed for my apartment. I was like, I just don't want anything to happen to my building, because like I'm on the second floor, so I'm not worried about my apartment getting flooded. I was just worried about like the building in general, and possibly not being able to live in the building until it gets fixed, which obviously that didn't happen because I'm in my apartment now. But yeah, so yeah, and I went to work today like normal. There was a really loud crack against my head. But yeah, so I do know why this stuff happens, and that's where I'm going to get into now. Why are we so stupid? Why? Literally, we could prevent this. Us humans can prevent stuff like this from increasing, but it's because of those stupid people that are like, oh, well, climate change isn't real, like, global warming isn't real, like, the science is fake behind, like, the science isn't accurate behind it, like, don't believe in the science, blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Obviously, there's something going on here. And it's not just a weird coincidence. Going from having every 100-year floods to every 10 years to every couple months. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. It's very frustrating. And I mean, we're not the only state that's been hit with flooding because of the temperatures. It's states like all over the country. It's just so crazy. I mean, are you kidding me? Antarctica has flowers blooming. Flowers blooming in Antarctica. That place is supposed to be like in the negatives all the time. All the time. Tell me that global warming isn't real. Tell me that climate change isn't real after looking at all of that. There are hundreds of thousands of documentaries that are just about climate change. How can you still be like, nah, pfft, I don't believe in that. There's nothing to believe in. It is factual. It's happening right now, literally right in front of your eyes. But you're just like, nah, man, no, that is not happening. Yes, it is. Like, what? Oh my god. People are just so frustrating. I just don't understand it. Like, how can you just be like, oh no, that they're faking it, obviously. The scientists, they got nothing better to do. They're lying. Get a job. Get a life. Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? I just don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. It's very frustrating. And I'm not saying, like, we have to give up all this stuff right now. Because obviously, look at me. I'm being hypocritical. I live in an apartment that has a ton of electricity running through it. Probably not the most sustainable way. I'm sitting on a cheap couch that was probably not sustainably made. Everything I own is probably not sustainably made. But like, there are certain things that we can do to even help just a little bit at a time. Like, just a little bit. Using reusable bags at the store, that saves so much. It's actually, like, it, what is it called? Plastic bags. Plastic bags in grocery stores and stuff like that are actually banned in Vermont. It's not a thing. Like, it's, I don't know if it's like a law in Vermont or if it's, you know, just like not a thing anymore. Like, you have to use reusable bags, and if you don't have reusable bags, then you get paper bags. But like, even with that, like, using reusable bags is good. Using like the bags that you already have, great, use that. Or buying sustainable products, and it is more expensive, but in the long run, does it matter? Because you're saving the planet. It seems worth it to me. But yeah, I don't know. Like, come on. Save the penguins, dude. Save the penguins. In Antarctica. Are you gonna make them die? Cause you don't believe in any of that. What is there to believe in? It's not a believe or not to believe. To believe or not to believe. There's none of that. It's just factual. You just don't want to see it. You don't want to accept that our world is dying and that it's your fault. It's everyone's fault. It's my fault. Your fault. There's no way to escape it. Everyone's fault. But we can try to help it, even just a little bit, just by doing simple things. It's so easy. I mean, it's not easy, but even if you're just doing like small stuff, it has a big impact in the end. Like, if we all do just small things that can like help save the planet, that has a big effect. If all of us do that, I mean, if you think about it, okay, so in COVID, when COVID was first starting and we were all, well, most of us were quarantined, not going anywhere, that was actually the cleanest the air has been in so long. A very long time, because nobody was going anywhere. We were barely using our cars. We were barely doing anything, and the air was the cleanest it had ever been in a very long time. But then, of course, after that blew over, then it like went crazy with how horrible the air quality is now, because everyone was like, oh, well, we have to make up time. Like, why are we so dumb? Why are we so dumb? I don't understand why us humans have to be so stupid. I just don't understand it. I'm stupid. I drive my car around everywhere. But like, you know, we live in a society, okay? We live in a society. But yeah. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to do a quick one. Yeah. I'm really hungry, and I'm gonna make a pizza. And stuff my face with just a ton of food, because I'm really hungry. And I also really missed my apartment. I really, 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 really missed my apartment so much. I'm so happy to be back in it. But yeah, there's anyone watching this who lives in Vermont, especially in the central Vermont area, I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you didn't get too badly damaged with the flooding. Yeah, I hope it didn't affect you horribly. And if it did, I'm really sorry. It's very frustrating. And yeah, it's very frustrating. But yeah, so that's all I have for tonight. I'm probably gonna upload this Tuesday night, as in tonight. So yeah, I hope you all have an amazing night, day, morning, whatever time it is for you. Like and subscribe. I have an email where you can just ask any questions or anything like that. Yeah, for my inquiry segment I'm going to be having. So the email, I'll put it down below, but the email is also at, what's the email? tacpod23@gmail.com. So yeah, like and subscribe, and yeah, hope you all are doing okay, and yeah, I need to stop saying that so much. That's like my default. Okay, so I'm gonna head out now. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm recording this from a different angle because I'm actually recording it from the camera side. So I'm actually looking at you instead of looking at myself because I'm a narcissist. But yeah. Stop saying but yeah. Stop. Okay. Don't say it. So I'm gonna go now. I said it. I can't help it. Okay. Peace, love, and ice cream, y'all.